All right, we are live, and that was the trailer. How do we get out of this thing? Escape. There we go. That was the trailer for TERRALYMPUS Volume 1 and 2, and we're here with the creator himself. Stephen, how you going, buddy?
Hey, good. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks for being here, man. So Stephen asked me if he could launch on my show, and that I'm deeply honored that you would come to me and ask me that. And I've looked through the campaign. It's just gone live. It's got 2 backers already, and you know it looks great. It looks great. So yeah, TERRALYMPUS Volume 1 and 2. Stephen, why don't you just give us a brief little rundown on what this book is?
It's a science fiction graphic novel. So, but one thing, look, I'll give you a bit of my background. I'm actually in IT, so that's my, my day job, if you will. So it was actually really fun to write this because a lot of the story is based around the space station TERRALYMPUS. So we used to use a lot of what they call closed loop networks. So you have to figure out, look,
is TERRALYMPUS a real thing, or is that a?
Oh no, it's.
That's in your world, okay.
Yeah, it's a name for the space station. Yep. But the really cool thing about TERRALYMPUS, and there is a reason for the name, and you'll find that out a little bit in Volume 2. There's actually a secret project being run called Project Terra, and you find out why the space station was called that. I won't give any spoilers away, but there's quite a bit of thought into it. So one thing that was great was writing a science fiction story, which I think was really grounded in real world technology. So is your background, do you have any background in IT or?
I've got no background in IT, but I'm a huge science nerd. Like I spent years on YouTube and everything, just learning about all kinds of science. I love science fiction. I love space. Just looking at it here, man, this stuff is right up my alley. So I love what you're doing here. So yeah, go on. Sorry to interrupt you.
So, like for example, a lot of the designs and stuff. One thing I do is I've loved everything that's come out from NASA. So the space station is actually one of the NASA designs. The space shuttle is actually based off a NASA design. And a lot of the discussion, like for example, there is a section in there where they talk about how they got oxygen, and they're talking about artificial chlorophyll, which actually is current real world technology. So it does exist right now. And the IT background of me in terms of making this run is you're talking about network security, events, incidents, and how it all matches up. So it was a lot of fun to actually write this, but it's not. So the science behind a lot of what's happening is actually real world science. So I actually had a lot of fun doing a lot of research for it. Of course.
I love that. So we've got some people in the chat here who've come here to see you launch off into space, so to speak. We've got Devilfish is here, Hal Devilfish,
Hey,
Smiling
hail.
Bandito is here, Felix has. These are all my peeps. These are all my guys who come to my show, and I love seeing them here. And they look really excited about this book. Himasabi's here, Largo, Tree Goblin. Have I seen you before? Hal Tree Goblin. Thanks for showing up, buddy. Carlton Banks is here. Yeah, it does look realistic. That's that I love that. I love that you know, it's not fantasy based. I mean, I like both actually. I don't mind the kind of Star Wars Jedi stuff, but I do also love it when you know there is an explanation behind it. Kimosabi says it's a great book. Johnny Rando, Hal Johnny Rando. I love this guy. Yeah, beautiful art, Stephen. Exactly right.
Oh, look, it's not my art, so I won't take credit for it.
That's we'll get into all that stuff later. But you know, you can take this is your project. You can definitely take credit for how it's presented. Blue Samurai's here. How Blue Samurai? He's my dude.
Hey.
Yeah. We just sorry if we're going to run through this really quickly, guys, because it's like 10 o'clock at night for me. I've got to get up early tomorrow to take the car into the garage, but we're going to get this book launched into the stratosphere. You know, with a big bang. Yeah, there you go. So this is your this is the second book. You've already had the first of the volume 1 in a campaign. Is that right?
That's correct.
And in this one, you can get volume 1 and 2, which is smart.
Correct. So I always try to do that. So there is copies of volume 1 available.
Yeah.
There's just one last one to highlight before we jump through. If you go to the fight scenes, you know, I think if you scroll down a bit, so past the tech, when she's talking about the tech, and you should go to fight scenes. The one thing I always loved is, look, I'm a big fan of MMA, and I'm a Ronda Rousey fan. I'm really sorry. I know she's out of form. I know she got a butt kick towards the end, but no, I always loved her. A lot of the fights, if you see carefully, they're all MMA. So what I did with the artist, we did a lot of chatting. So if you know someone's on top of you and you're pummeling you already, that's actually where the ref will pull you off. Yep. So, and then that's a standard takedown. So if you notice, a lot of the fight scenes in this book, they're all based off MMA fights. So me and the artist had a lot of fun going through, we're going to use that. We're going to use that one. So because I love
really
MMA,
cool. That's really cool.
It was fun.
That it makes sense too, because I presume this is in the future or the near future.
Yep.
When is this set?
We don't actually give a date, but probably about 3,000, I would say, give or take.
Yeah, so it would be the whole thing about MMA is it's you know, whatever works is used, and it's an evolving sport. So it just stands to reason that it would be something like that in the future. That would be the fighting style, you know, because it's just whatever works you use. Kimosabi says it looks really good. He wants to see a kung fu comic. Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's go start at the top, and we'll go through this campaign, because man, it looks sick. I'd only seen this image originally, and I'd only seen your trailer. But looking through these pages, I love the layout, I love the art, and yeah. Also, Earth is a distant memory, and the remnants of humanity now live aboard this space station, TERRALYMPUS. What you said earlier about there's a meaning behind the name. I mean, it's very evocative. TERRALYMPUS, like Terra Earth, Olympus, you know, Olympus. I don't know if that's sort of the direction you're going there, but I really like the name.
I won't spoil it.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I'll shoot you a private message, but I won't spoil the name right now.
But there's a guy in here, Smiling Bandito. And you don't have to spoil it. I can read it. There's a guy in here, Smiling Bandito. We were having a discussion on names just the other day. And, you know, I'm of the opinion that a good name can really, you know, sell a story in a book. And I think this TERRALYMPUS is a great start. Even though it might be a little bit difficult to spell at first, it gets hard with the fingers. But you know, look, we won't read through all of the text. What have we got here? 56 a page. It's in black and white grayscale, and you know what? I love that. I really think it fits with the story. What paper stock will it be on? Do you know?
It's 150 GSM, so it's the extra glossy one. So I'm a paper snob. I have to fully admit I'm a big paper snob. So if you think about normal reflex paper, the paper you print with, like,
Yep.
the stuff you buy from the shops, that's 80
Yep.
GSM. So this is twice as thick. So it's 150. So it's a glossy GSM as well. So it
Right.
is, one of the reasons for it is, a lot of my books, not so much this one, but I wrote Romeo and Juliet with Cats. That was my first book I ever published. And a lot of it is I try to get to libraries. And with libraries, you actually need a better paper stock because the book needs to last. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been really lucky because my first book got picked up and it went a little bit crazy, and I was really happy with it. And yeah, so every other book I've done since, I always think, hey, look, if a library or a bookstore was to buy it, I couldn't use this 80 GSM. It will rip, it will tear. After about a couple of reads, the library would chuck it out. So I didn't want
Well, I
that.
think everyone listening to this likes to hear that because, yeah, I just, I just like to. I know that I like to get to know so like what where people head is at, with the printing and everything. But so this is your. Tell us about your history. Like, how did you get into making comics? You said you're an IT guy. How are you here making a sci-fi comic? How did that happen?
Okay. So look, I'll be really fair. I procrastinated for years. Look, almost
We can all
almost
relate
close
to
to a
that.
decade. Um, um, Look, I've got a daughter, and one of the reasons for it was I think somebody asked me the question a long time ago. It says, "Hey, look, if your daughter grows up, what will you tell her to do?" And I said, "Look, I'll tell her to follow her dreams and do everything she says, everything she wants." And then for me, it's like, you know what? I've always wanted to write. I've always wanted to create. And you know what? I'm working shift jobs. I'm working ID contracts, and I'm working nights. I'm working the graveyard shifts, and I'm just going, you know what? I could do this the rest of my life, but I won't have anything to show for it at the end of it. If I do something like this, you know, I leave something. It sounds really silly, but if my daughter asks me 10 years from now, Dad, did you do what you want to do? I can say, yeah, I had a crack at it. Win, lose, or draw, I made something, you know.
That is so that's so amazing that you actually say that, because I was thinking of just the exact same thing today. I was talking with Liam Gray earlier, and we were just chatting about having kids and stuff like that. And I was saying, like, have a kid. I was saying, like, everyone, if you got a chance, have a kid as soon as possible. And I was thinking about how having a child affects your life in ways that you wouldn't expect. And that was one of them, that it really does focus you and motivate you. And you're exactly right. You do want to kind of leave something behind for them, and also show them, inspire them, because you're that main influence in their life, to just get up and do what you want to do. So it's really
Yeah.
cool that you say that. We must be on the same wavelength, and I think a lot of people are. It's the sentiment that I do hear around, with crazy people like us who are making comic books.
Yeah. No,
You have
and
to be crazy to make a comic book.
look, you have to be. You really have to be. Oh,
So
paper snobs! Yay!
yeah, absolutely. And I like to smell it as well. I don't know if you're the same. Like, I don't know if that's weird for you, but I like the smell of a comic book. When I get a
Oh,
book,
look,
the first thing I do is I give it a big whiff.
new comic book day. It's the best.
I'm sorry, Callaway. Me too. Me too. I've got to get up really early tomorrow, but I'm here for Stephen. We're going to push his
Oh,
book.
sorry,
Hopefully, we're going to
Callaway.
get some sales. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's a tough gig having to listen to us sell this awesome book here. All right, so we could just see on the cover here, we got yourself here. You're the creator. Are you you do all the writing? It's like your story. You
That's
do all the
correct.
writing. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
And we got Sean Keenan. I presume that's the artist,
Oh no, Sean's he's the editor. So
editor. Okay.
he's the co-creator. Look,
Co-creator.
TERRALYMPUS was his name. I'll give it to that's his. And look, it's great to work with him. We bounce ideas back and forth all the time.
Awesome. Yeah, well, that's great to have someone like that. And who have we got there? Von Randall.
Yep. So he's the artist. So and back to the black and white discussion. When I saw his artwork come through, I had a choice to make. Do I color this? Do I not color it? And look, I'm still 50-50 about it, but man, if you saw the black and white, especially in print, it looks amazing.
That's what
It really
that's what I said. That's why I brought it up, because I was like, when I saw these pages, just, they just work as is. And I see that sometimes with artists where I'm like, I don't know if I actually want to see this colored, because it's just, and plus when you get that grayscale in there, you get the depth that you need that you would otherwise might be missing. And when it works, it works. So that's a really cool cover there.
Oh, that's
Let's get down to the
Sebastian
pages.
Navas. He did the he did Grom. That's the, and I can't. I'll
Wrong.
get the
Yeah, that
acronym right.
sounds familiar.
So
Oh, yes. The
it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's a different species of animals.
it's with that Deltrez guy, the guy who made this
Yeah,
comic here on my wall. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
So yeah.
cool,
So
cool.
when
All
I
right,
saw
that's
his book
cool.
on Grom, I knew. Oh man, I begged
Yeah,
him. I just
that
look.
book looks great.
The guy is brilliant. So I begged him and said, please, 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 give me one. And then he said, look, I can't help you. I can't help you draw, but I can give you a cover. So I was going, man, I'll take that.
Yeah, it's never too late, Devilfish. Callaway asks, is this another Aussie book?
Yes, it is. And so the good thing about this is free shipping in Australia. So
Whoa,
no charge for shipping in Australia.
you are a madman.
So all the prices they have, no. If you're Australian, no shipping charge. Look.
Wow, okay. Well, that cements it. I'm definitely getting this now. 100%.
Thanks.
You sold me. Let's check this out. That's what I'm talking about. There's just a certain, I mean, I don't want to use cliche terms, but I will, because I don't know what else to say. There's a certain grittiness. It looks really lived in. It looks real. Nothing's quite perfect, and I love that. It's always a bit of a trope, isn't it? Sometimes in space stuff, like everything can look a bit too perfect and not really used, because they're trying to go for that pure kind of clean sci-fi look.
Oh no, this is dirty. This is, look, the space stations hang on by, things break down all the time. They keep having to put kludges in, oh gosh, if it works, let's just do it type thing. So there's a lot of old things.
Yeah, Kimasabi says the art in the first book was good, but this is a step up. I haven't seen the first book, but this looks really amazing, so that makes sense to me. The Tommy says the Aussie invasion continues. Hell yeah, we are ascendant. You watch out. We I don't know. We feel like we need to prove ourselves against the world. And Blue Samurai.
Look, replicator drops, man, that's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, Replicator book is that sort of the big one, and Xenotype as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh look, that went amazing. That's like, oh man, he's gonna go 6 digits. Just let it go in demand, let it run,
and
he'll go 6 digits.
If he doesn't this time, once it comes out and gets in people's hands, then they'll do it. Because they haven't read his stuff before, but I just listened to the guy talking about it. There's so much passion in there, and he is so knowledgeable about storytelling and everything. I can just already tell it's going to be fantastic. Blue Samurai is like me. He's glad it's not colored as well. When the grayscale works, it works. When it fits the story, let's keep going with it. Look at that. There's a lot going on there. That's so cool. What are these tentacle things? It's like tubes, breathing tubes or something?
Yeah, so because this is real world space tech, the easiest way to get somebody connected is it's a tether. So it's basically for her to be connected to the spaceship. And the reason it's thicker than usual, it feeds oxygen, it feeds stuff through. So
that explosion is so rad. Love that. Great gestures too. Your artist has really nailed this. You've got, you've got cool lettering as well. Who did the lettering?
It's actually a Melbourne guy. It's Darren Close. He does Killer Room. He's a Victoria guy. So there's actually a reason for the lettering, because the different colors is because she's speaking from a space helmet. So anything that's black, it's actually from her earpiece, and anything that's white, she's talking. So that's actually, we do a little bit of stuff like that, so you can identify, and you can notice whether just pointing out to his lettering as well. If you scroll just a little bit more, you notice that anytime it's from the earpiece, it's black and it's pointed towards the earpiece because that's where the sound is. And when she's talking, it's from the microphone in front of her, so that's why it's white.
That's rad.
And so there is a difference in lettering. So we had a chat about that. So we can go, you know what? And if you notice, when they're talking normally, it's the normal space bubble. But when it's when it's through the helmet you sound different and you hear differently from the helmet.
That's friggin' rad, man. These little touches, they sell the book for me. Whenever I see a book as well, especially an independent book, I always look for the lettering because then I know, like, are they serious about what they're doing? And yeah, this is I just love everything about it. I think that's super, super cool. It just works so well. It doesn't, and because it's all in black and white, it doesn't it doesn't take away from the art or anything. And I notice here, I always look as well to see if they've got the right eyes in there. So
Yep.
A lot of people use the capital I, the pronoun. Is that what
Correct.
it's called? Pronoun I.
Yep, the pronoun,
just in the normal text, and that always grates against my skin when I see that. I mean, people don't know about that, but yeah, a lot of people agree. Kimosabi, he's loving it, man.
He's read volume 1, so that's
he's already back. Kozor is an Aussie book too, and that looks sick too. And Clayton has a story that's, I mean, it's a bit far away, but he's got a story that will be coming out as well. So yeah,
I'm actually talking to
Rosetta
Clayton
Allen's
on
here.
Thursday.
Hail Rosetta Allen. Yes, so you're right. There's so many CG books that are just coming out, and friggin' hell, this just looks amazing. Let's keep scrolling because we've seen this stuff already. We saw these fights. We heard about the fights. This is just, really good stuff. I love how broken up. Like there's the gray in the background here, and then the white here. That's
and
cool,
the MMA takedown, you can recognize it. And
yep. Yeah, my daughter is actually Australian jiu-jitsu champion for her age and belt. Yeah, she's not anymore because she got up into a new belt, and all the girls in that, there's so many really good ones. But yeah, we live that. I mean, we're not right now because of the lockdown, but when the kind of that all ends, we're going straight back into it. We'll be living jiu-jitsu again.
But jiu-jitsu is one of those fighting styles which is basically on almost, not quite, but it's almost whatever it takes type fighting style as well. Like I haven't taken my girl to that yet, but I think she wants to do some. There's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu near my place, and I'm thinking of taking her there for a couple of rounds.
Yeah, that's what my daughter does, man. The kids, they love it because, especially if it's a good school, they can they just have so much fun, and then they learn. And it takes them about 6 months to a year before they realize, oh, hang on, like I can actually do cool stuff with this. And once they figure it out, once it clicks in their head and they start going hard, it's really amazing to watch. So Kimosabi, the real art is using gray properly. Yeah, absolutely. Tommy's, there's good to have more space sci-fi books to have on promos. Need to have a good cover image for my 6 campaign promos. All right. So what have we got here? What are these things? What are we looking at? These are little extras.
So with volume 2, you get 2 extras. You get a business card size print. It's a virgin print of the cover for issue 1. So you get that. And you get an A5. And A5, if for people in the US, is about 6 by 9 inches, so about the size of a postcard. And you get that in, there's a guy called David Jackson, and he did this little chibi Mia fixing something in space. So you get both of these along with volume 2.
What's the name of your main character here, this woman?
Mia.
Cool. So that's her there. She's
Her.
got on some pretty wicked tech there.
Yeah, that's all Sebastian. He just went, I said, look, free reign, do what you really like. And he went. So he had fun with that.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that's the guy from Grom, yeah?
Yep, that's the guy from Grom.
Wicked. A5 print pack. So you get a bunch of postcards, 3 postcards.
You get 3 postcards with it. So so I did get some pieces colored. So you get 3, and one of them is in grayscale. So that one's a little
And
bit had fun with. I like one of the shows I realized Ghost in the Shell. So it's a similar pose to that.
And that's by DC Alonso doing the coloring.
That's correct.
And DC Alonso,
He's done some amazing stuff.
Yeah, that name is familiar. I know I've got something from it, but I can't remember what it is exactly.
Yeah.
Is he on?
He did Replicator.
I can't remember.
He
Replicator, yes.
Replicator. So
right.
I
okay.
introduced him to Rob for Replicator 2.
Ah, I see. All right, cool. Wow,
it's a small world.
All in the family. All in the family. You know, someone was talking about how many people are in this big group we've got going here, and I was like, well, I'm going to start counting them because I want to know like how many creators involved in this whole thing. And I were doing that, I realized how much overlap there is on people, colorists and artists working for different people, and there's a lot of overlap. So yeah. James Dean Anderson is here. Hal, man, how you going, buddy? Yeah, it is cool. It is very cool. I'm really happy to be promoting this because it just looks so sick. DC Alonso is a master. There you go. You have the James Dean Anderson pick of approval.
Oh, look, he's fantastic. Look at this, and he's getting better as well. That's the thing. Like the stuff he did TERRALYMPUS 1, the cover for me, the color, compared to his work now, man, he's leveled up like multiple times.
And you've got some original art here by Von Randall, and this is just sort of a random known characters. So these aren't TERRALYMPUS characters.
So what Von did for me, which is just part of the campaign, was basically he drew a couple of original art. One thing I did find is there are people who really like collecting artwork. So the problem with the comic was it was done digitally. So there's nothing physical about it. So I asked Von, hey, look, can you do 6 pieces up for me? And we'll see how they go. Supergirl has already been picked up. So she's gone. I'm sorry if anybody's really likes Supergirl.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, like I had the same thing, and I'm actually doing head sketches and little cards. And last night I actually sold the friggin'. I'm redoing the cover because I'm digital as well. Redoing the cover in real art as well, and it sold last night to an incredibly generous person. So that was just an amazing thing. My jaw was hanging open for about half an hour after that. So that person knows who they are. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I totally agree. I like, there are people out there who do like buying original art. And so, if they're there, give them what they want, of course. Especially if you've got a wicked artist like you've got here. Okay, so we've got the team there. Awesome. Let's go up and see your perks, man. Let's go to the top. How's my potato internet going? All right. So you've got you got a digital package and the book. So the book, you get a PDF of 1 and 2, and then you get the physical book of the volume 2.
So I put the PDF with every physical tier as well, just in case you want 2 or whatever, but you want to read book 1. I'll give you a copy of book 1 to read digitally.
Yeah, it's like what Rosetta was saying earlier. There's so many projects. Some people have they're just they've just gone way over their budget, and I'm talking about myself here. I'm just really going way over my budget, so I can't back all the higher tiers anymore, or even the mid-level tiers, because I've just got so many books I need to get. So maybe they're like, okay, I'll get the physical book here, and then I want to know what happened in the first one, maybe get the PDF. So that's really clever. All right, hang on, what's going on with my internet? There's something missing here. Let me refresh. There we go. Okay, so that's that variant by Grom Dude. What was his name again? Sebastian.
Sebastian the Best. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that you get that cover. Man, that's awesome. I think I might get that one. I like that one the best. It's something about it. And I do like as well that it's grayscale. Like I do like what you've done with the colors here. I get what you're saying about the about getting some color in there to be flashy and stuff. But I'm really digging this grayscale thing you got here.
Yep.
Book and prints. So they're those A5 prints we saw earlier. Variant prints. Very well priced too. Very accessible. Okay, so this one is you get both, yeah? Maybe
That's
you get
correct.
this one. You get this one. I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll see. We'll see what I think. Normal version. Because I've got the free shipping in Australia, so I can splash out a bit. The variant and volume.
I probably should mention as well, unfortunately I think you might not be affected as well for your one, but airmail has basically been shut down for Australia, so everything is going by sea. So what usually takes anywhere from about 2 weeks to reach is now taking about 2 months. So if you're outside of Australia, if the airports and stuff don't reopen fully, it just will take a lot longer to ship. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that it's slightly out of my control, but all Australia Post is going to take not from 2 weeks, it's going to take about 2 months. So
well, look, that's not the worst thing that could ever happen. And I think everyone is kind of pretty understanding of what's, the situation that we're all kind of in together here. So, but, sometimes people are left waiting 2 years for their books. So I don't think they'll be too upset if they have to wait a couple of extra months. It's sort of the nature of crowdfunding. We get really cool books and we get all these little extras and stuff, but yeah, we do have to wait a little bit extra for it. I see Poland's here. Looks like the ball is already here. What ball? What are you talking about, Poland? What's going on? What's he about? He's still in bed. Talking about your balls, Poland? What are you talking about? Yeah, greatest words ever. Free shipping. Hell yeah. They'll get the ball rolling. You should put like a little banner on your thing or something. You should.
I'll change the campaign. Free shipping on
I've actually gotten a decent amount of Australian backers on the Lucent. So yeah, you should encourage that because that is a big deal. Even though my shipping is only $8, it's still, we want to buy so many campaigns. It all adds up. Even like small amounts, all add up after a while. Okay, so what this is the variant and volume 1. So in this one, you get volume 1 and you get the variant. So that's this variant, is it? That
correct.
Sebastian
The
Neves.
Sebastian one. Yep.
All right, I think maybe that's what I want to get because I like physical books. I'm feeling my days of reading PDF comics are over. I want the physical stuff now. I've been slow to that, but I like getting into bed and reading these things when they come. It's just a little ritual I've got now. What's this exclusive here? Normal version of the cover, bonus card, A5 print. Yeah, cool. It's just extra stuff. So
I'm trying to stack the rewards up, if you can see. So there's like five main rewards, and I stack them.
Yep. And then we've got those. Yeah, and there, which one sold? Superwoman?
Supergirl went.
Supergirl. There we go. Awesome. Well, that's a nice start. Always good. Oh, look, you're already up to 5 backers, man.
Oh, wow. Thanks, guys.
That's awesome. I'm so glad I could get out here and spread this stuff. I'm so happy that we got some takers in this chat. Hopefully it's some of these guys in here. Who else have we got here? We got Shane. Shane's great. How you going? Australia Post was bad before the Wu flu. I don't know. I get the feeling that they rip us off because for the longest time they were the only player in town. Now we've got a few other sort of commercial players who are a little bit more expensive, but hopefully this some increased competition will get these costs down because they're friggin' crazy. They're crazy.
Yeah, I know. I talk to Rob about it all the time. It's especially shipping overseas. If you're shipping like less than half a kilo, it's like $26, $29 sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah, and if you're doing more than that, which I think is what Liam is doing. His book's thick. So he's over 500 grams, and it's just costing him an arm and a leg.
Oh man, that's
and then
so.
on top of that, Indiegogo, like it doesn't matter if I've got it set to USD here. So it's just like, okay, I'm in the US, I'm with the USD. Okay, so I want to buy I don't know, I'm gonna buy this, right? And I go to get perk. My slow internet. Okay, so you've got free shipping and free, but just say I want to put in a new address, right? Go here and I'll put in United States.
Yep.
And it'll say $13. Okay. Now mine is actually 19, I think. And I've seen others like Liam's, for example, is expensive. I don't know what it is. It's probably about 35. So they see that number, and they see it over here on the side. They see 35, and they just assume because they're in the US and they deal in US numbers that it would be in the US figures. And so they just go, oh, screw that. I'm not spending 35 US on shipping. And they bug out. And I've gotten emails from people saying, oh, your shipping is what do they say? Your shipping's like $25 or something. I'm like, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's this much. And then I had to go in and show. I had to like send an email to them and say, no, they transfer it to Australian dollars automatically. Rob has actually been in contact. Rob and Liam have been in contact with Indiegogo, and they're like, no, we can't change it. It's just it's just too deeply built into our site. So yeah, we just have to kind of spread the word to everyone out there.
Look, I've actually written there was a whole chat that we had about that, and so I've written in as well to say, hey, look, this is something we can do, because you don't want to be, if say you buy a $20 book and then shipping's like $35 or something, you're just gonna go, you know what, shipping is more than the book. I'm not going to bother. It turns people off. It's not right.
Yeah, I think for us in Australia, we better off just like keeping the books. We can actually be competitive because $25 US is a lot of money here for a book. And people are used to spending that amount of money on these, premium independent books. Everyone kind of understands, we're not printing 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 copies of these things. We're printing in the hundreds a lot of the time. So everyone kind of understands that's a pretty decent price for an independent book, but thankfully that amount of money can go a long way down here in Australia. So we can think, okay, well maybe make the book a little bit more expensive and the shipping is a little bit cheaper, because it's a psychology thing. You're exactly right. People don't want to spend more on the shipping than they do on the product, even if at the end of the day it was the same price.
Yep. No, I agree. So with the shipping, I'll be honest with you. If I give free shipping, I lose money. It's there, but it's for Australia. I prefer you to get the copy and be happy with it, rather than just think shipping is too much and not be happy with it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you there. I didn't go all the way with free shipping, but I'm definitely taking a hit on the shipping because I wanted to be competitive with the US players. 65, 70% of the books that I've sold have gone to the States. And like I said, $25 goes a long way here in Australia. So I'm happy to take that little hit. It's a little hit. And, just to make sure that more books get into more people's hands, so that in the future, there's more people out there potentially saying, oh, I got this the first time around. It's really good. You should get the next one and the next one and so on and so forth. So take small hits at the start so that pays off dividends in the future.
Of course. And look, some of the things I do as well, if you notice, I don't put anything that's A4 size. Everything's like postcard size or it's comic book size. So I can fit it all into a comic bag, put a board on it, put some cardboard into it. It's everything to do is keep the weight down, because there is another price jump after 250 grams. So if you can get it underneath 250, man, the price drops. So everything I do is get the shipping down.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just no way I could get mine under 250. That would be that would be golden. I would have to like cut my book in half to do that, and it's just I'm not going to do that. But yeah, if you can, if you're able to get under the 250 grams, you Americans don't know what the hell we're talking about with 250 grams. I have no idea what that is in ounces, but we're
I think eight
talking like
ounces. Eight
comic book
ounces.
size. You can fit a comic book in a thing for under 250 grams. But once you get up to sort of perfect bound, 70, 80 page books, it's too close, because you want to have a bit of cardboard in there for sturdiness, and you got books and boards and backs and extras as well. I've got head sketches, and I've got a little print to go in with it as well, and I want that to be on thick printed card. So it all adds up, and unfortunately, I'm in the 250 to 500 gram bracket. But still, that's way better than Paul Liam, who's I don't know how heavy his stuff is, but man, must
If
be.
this is
I
a
can't
200-page
imagine how
book,
much he's spending.
oh man, 200-page book, you pass the 500 grams, you're into full parcel weight already. Which, oh man, I don't even want to think about what Australia Post is going to charge you.
Yeah, he's when he like does all these taxes and sees how much he's spent on shipping, he's gonna pull all his hair out. I can't imagine how much guys like Ethan and who else? It's like Zach, guys
Oh
you
man.
get like thousands and thousands. I think Ethan's has I don't know how many he sold 13,000 books, but it's only in I say only it's in 6 or 7,000 orders. I mean, that's a lot of shipping.
Well, you can get discounts and all power to those guys. Once you reach that type of level, man, you can go in and says, I'm shipping 1,000 books. This is the price I want to pay. You can start being a bit more. You can negotiate. I'm shipping 50
Yeah,
parcels. Nah,
yeah.
nobody's gonna talk to you. Nobody's gonna talk to
No,
you.
yeah, there is a business thing in Australia Post, but yeah, unless you're doing numbers, it's not that much of a discount, if you get any kind of discount at all. And Kimasabi says, yeah, and plus they can use media mail, which we don't have. Yeah, people have tried to set something up that's similar to media mail here, but it's all they're doing it by themselves, and I don't know, it's called like Skippy Post or something like that. And I mean, it seems legit, and people on eBay seem to use it, but I don't know. I'm a bit nervous. I think I'll just go with Australia Post normal, just so I'm sure, and I get the tracking number and everything. Because I used to have an Etsy store, and I'd be shipping out about 10 to 15 packages a week internationally,
Yep.
and this is without tracking numbers. It was a friggin' nightmare, absolute nightmare. Because you're just spending half your time talking to people who are saying, "Where's my parcel?" and you've got no answer for them. So yeah, it is a bit like spend a little bit extra on your postage, just peace of mind, and so that you're not wasting months and months tracking down packages.
Oh,
What's Devilfish saying? It's the shame postage is including an Indiegogo totals makes it feel no incentive to lower shipping if it's going to negatively hit them. That is a point. I didn't actually realize that when I first started, buying Indiegogo books. I didn't realize that all these numbers, these huge numbers, included the shipping costs. But it's good and it's bad. Inflates our numbers. We look like superstars. But you're right. It is a bit weird. So Shane is like, would have preferred full color books, but free shipping was a fair trade to get me back. There you go. Honesty. But that's good, man. Like I think a lot of people in here really dig the grayscale. To me, it just works. And you like people do focus a lot on color, but maybe to a detriment. Like sometimes the line art is just it's that good you don't need color. Like someone like Rob Willis and in Shinobi Sasquatch, everyone would buy a black and white version of that, even though the colors do look friggin' amazing. Even though they look amazing, sometimes the black and white it just works, especially when the story works for it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with is it SOS? SOS, is that the book? And that guy he had black and whites up there for a while before he had the colors up, and yeah, they look friggin' amazing too. Sometimes it works like that. My art, because I'm the colorist, I actually do the line art with the coloring in mind, so it doesn't actually work that well without the colors. But you can see here, this was done to be in grayscale, so that's why it works so well.
So there was a conscious choice to go black and white. Once I saw the artwork, it was like, look, I've got a choice here. Do I go color? Do I go black and grayscale? And look, the detail is there. So I was thinking, man, if this went color, I would lose a lot of detail. That's what I was afraid of.
That's right. Sometimes then the coloring, as good as it is, it does take away the detail. It does sort of draw the eye into different places. Sometimes it's just totally overcooked and it kind of ruins the line art. That's a real problem. But if you get a good colorist, that shouldn't happen. Sometimes it's the end result is somehow that much better than the sum of its parts. And to me, someone like Ethan and Kyle together on Cyberfrog, it's just like a match made in heaven, and you get something almost transcendent. Those two working together, even though they're both incredible artists by their own right.
Oh, so, look, Ethan's artwork could go black and white easy. Look, he put so much detail into his stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so great all by itself. It's just, top notch, top tier. There's very few people doing anything close to him or better. And then Kyle is like one of the best colorists in the business, maybe the best colorist in the business. But somehow when they get together, it gets even better, and it becomes this otherworldly thing. And it's always amazing when I see, you see Ethan will put up on Twitter something and it'll look amazing, but then the colors will come in and everyone will just go berserk, and rightly so.
Oh, definitely. I'm just talking about that one. The J Lee cover, the variant that he had. Oh man, I don't know if you saw that one, but that was amazing.
Yeah, I've got the poster. I need to put it up, but I haven't put it up yet because I want to frame it, because it's like I spent a lot of money on it, so I want to frame it. Dude, you got 7 backers. You're about to click past.
Wow.
You're about to get to $300 US. What's that? I can get to the almost $1,000. Is it? No, 500. Sorry, 500. Your $1,000 is your goal, and you almost got 500 of in Aussie dollars. So congratulations, man. It looks like people are really taking to this, and I've actually heard some people talking positively about the volume 1. So yeah, hopefully more of that will happen. Word will get out. You seem like a cool guy, and you've got a really cool project here. So I hope it just keeps going up and up and up.
Oh, look, thanks so much, man. Look, I know you've got to clock off as well because you get up early, but look, I really, really appreciate your time here. Look, it's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Stephen, I'll definitely get you back on some point, a bit later on to see how you're going. And as well, I'm streaming almost daily now, and then sometimes I stream a bit longer on the weekend. So you're always welcome to kind of come on and hang out. I know, you don't stream much, but I'm telling you, man, get yourself out there, even if it's, it's not something that you're used to doing, because the people, they want to hear you talk. They want to see like you're a cool, normal dude who's just passionate. It's just like your story about, you wanted to show something to your kid. You wanted to, if she asks you in 10 years, like that's the kind of stuff that people want to hear an artist talk about. And that's the kind of stuff that you can only get through crowdfunding. So it's been really great to have you on. It's been amazing. We've had a bunch of people in here. I think they've been shoppers, and they're all like super cool guys. I recognize you all. So Hal the chat, Antoine's here as well. David, Kimasabi, everyone who showed up. You all know who you are. Devilfish, Hal, you guys are amazing. The link, Shane is like the link has been in the chat, man. I think it's also in the description. So just scroll back up in the chat. Poland, hail to you, of course, buddy. And yeah, check out TERRALYMPUS. Steven's a great guy. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. It's Sigmate Studio. Is that it?
Yep, just one word.
Yeah, Sigmate Studio. So check him out. And yeah, back TERRALYMPUS. All right, guys, I've really got to run. So I will. I'll see you next time. All right, bye.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Bye.